3, 2, 1. Let's see if we're live on YouTube. Very good. We are live. Let's see. Nice. So welcome to another backtesting session. This is day 74 backtesting until I'm profitable. It's crazy how far you can go if you don't stop. So we'll be backtesting the forever model. You know that I've currently switched to trading the small time frames with futures, and it's currently working good for me because I also got a good entry today. So let's get into it without wasting time in the chat. So we'll go to this 2024 ICD futures model. Let me add some music. Alright, so I'd like to start by analyzing NQ and daily now. Let me remove any drawings. Right, so before we start anything, we know price moves for 4 reasons, obviously. So the first reason price moves is to rebalance to equilibrium, right? Then the second reason price moves is to fill fair value gaps, and the third is to hunt liquidity, and the last one is to generate liquidity. So this is what will make us know why we are taking a certain move. All right, this is a bit small. Let me put it like here. What does this lock do, by the way? Right, so now on the daily you can see that we're extremely bullish. We are at the all-time highs. You can see we're starting to drop a bit, and we have some fair value gaps here that may be retested if the market drops. And looking on the daily, you can see that we have buy side resting right here on this high, buy side liquidity. And now we would like to go to the 4 hour structure. Is okay. I actually analyze markets at the day open. That's why I would like to see it at least 9-10, somewhere there. So let me edit this so that the day open can be 9, at least 9-10, 9-15, save. Right, so let's go to day open. Goes to 9:15, I think. Let's see. Yeah, this is what I wanted. So now going on the 4 hour, you can see that we have this buy side, and you can see that we're starting to drop. We are currently on Friday, which means it's the last day of the whole week. And currently looking at the weekly profile, we were some kind of trying to be bearish, so we might probably close back in the range and push a bit higher. But this is judging on this weekly candle. We'll see what the market will do on the lower time frames. So look, going on the daily, you can see we dropped into this volume imbalance here, then started to push higher. Now on the 4 hour, which is what I'm looking at now, you can see we have this nice fair value gap here that we're in, and we're kind of respecting. You can see how nice this candle's closed. Now going on the 1 hour, we still have some buy side resting above here. So we have previous day high, we have today's Asia highs or somewhere here, I think. Yeah, Asia highs inside here. The Asia highs were taken, and the London, which means the next level of liquidity will be this London lows. So I'm looking for market to have some kind of manipulation, but let's see how ES is looking for now. So ES on the 1 hour time frame, as of now, it's created some kind of SMT. You can see it created a high, while here didn't create any kind of high, but instead we're dropping, which shows us that we might actually drop. We might actually continue with the drop. So let's see what happens at market open and see if we can find an entry in the macro. So here we're in this kind of order block. let's see what happens. So let's continue to observe price. So I'll go on the 5 minute. Alright, so drop a bit right here, 9:15. 26th January, 9:20, 9:25. Let's push higher. 9:30, push higher. Remember, if we want to go lower, we obviously have to push higher. Now on the lower time frame, I think I'm noticing something. I'm gonna have some kind of SMT here. So we took out some lows from 8:30 here. Are we in any kind of POI? Let's see the 15 minute. Well, it's this order block that's holding. This 15 minute order block here is holding. Going on the 5 minute, we have this SMT. Going on the 2 minute. Okay. On the 2 minute, we have this series of down close candles which create the change in state right here. We drop nicely, then start push. But on the 5 minute, if you want to change in state, we can maybe see it somewhere on this candle. That is where we might get our change in state of delivery. So now we have an SMT, we're in a POI. We had our liquidity sweep like this on the 3 minute so far. And now going on the 1 minute, I'd like to see this high get run out, and on that change in state, maybe I might look for buys with my stop below this low, and so entry will be somewhere here, and obviously my target will be this high, and yeah, that will basically be the trade. Even though if the runner continues, you can also target this high from Thursday, but let's see what the market does, if it provides an entry or not. So yeah, let's see. So 5 minute doesn't do anything. Instead we get another kind of sweep here. Is it like a sweep? Because yeah, you can see it's another low put in that we didn't get on it's another low putting that we didn't get on ES. You can see ES didn't create a low here or at this candle, but here it had a low. So it's another confirmation that this SMT might be a strong one. So we have SMT here. Now, so market again takes out this low. So we have this kind of manipulation leg here. You can see like we consolidate, then we have this crazy manipulation leg, this drop you can see here, and that exact manipulation leg is still an SMT. And as much as this looks nice, we have another place where we can get a change in state here. We are still holding in the SMT. We have multiple internal sweeps here, so this is where we might find our change in state of delivery here. Let's wait and see. We're almost into the macro, so we drop again, and I think this is still an SMT from here to here. Well, yep. So let's use the 1 minute now for this. So it looks like we're having an SMT, crazy one. Now back to the 1 minute, you can see that we again take out this low. We have a series of down close candles right here that we embrace a fair value gap on the 1 minute. Let's see how it looks on the 2 minute. So the 1 minute, it's kind of clear. Before we do that, we disrespected this order block, have we? No, we haven't. And on the 15 minute, we also had another bigger sweep to go this low. So we had this sweep again. We have another sweep on the higher time frame. We are trying to respect this order block that we're in, and it's also in a volume imbalance. And going onto the 5 minute again, You can see that we're currently consolidating inside there. Now you can see we've embraced a fair value gap here, we've swept liquidity, and now I would look for a change in state at least right here. Right, so you get the change in state of delivery on the 1 minute here. So looking on our playbook, what's missing? We have the sweep, we have the SMTs, like from these lows right here weren't created on S&P 500. We have the change in state of delivery, and this is our cue to enter. So I'd like to place in a trade here. We're a bit late to the entry, sorry. I'd like to buy here. So we're a bit late. Stop loss here below the inversion, and my target will obviously be these highs. From these highs are from the 850, like before we did the equities open, giving 1.84, and we can also even target even higher. So let's take this entry. I'll be risking half, and let's keep take profit open. So are we still in the macro? Let me see. I forgot to check. Checklist was the 1 minute entry model. We had the liquidity sweep, change in state of delivery, and I think that was it. So let's see what happens. So we create a gap. We can see we fill it nicely after this shift. You can see we fill the gap nicely. Currently the 2022 model, very nice. So we push higher and higher as the time goes on, and so we end up we're about to take out that liquidity. So here I can actually close the entry because this is liquidity that I was targeting, and you can see it has been taken out. But if we would like to continue pushing, then we would actually see that the market continue push higher. So what time are we? We're still 10:38, so the expansion counter might happen. Let me close partials. So I think how will I take partials on this one? I'm really not good at using here. Discard. Okay, let's do it like this. I'll close 50% of the position, and now I'll move to break even. Now let's see what happens. So we're almost into lunch. You can see that the runner continues to the higher time frame. Going on the 15, this is looking nice. We can see that we've also created another inversion here, and on the 15 time frame we can see that we're about to have another fractal model. Removing all of this, you can see that we have a sweep, some series of down close candles, and we get a change in state right here. We impress a fair value gap, and let's see if we got this as an SMT. I think this is obviously an SMT. You can see that from this low here to this one, it's some kind of SMT, obviously. So yeah, it's also possible that we might get a retracement into the inversion and then continue higher. So let's see what happens. So we drop into the inversion that was right here, touch it by a few ticks, and we end up getting stopped out. So this wasn't bad. Good entry. Right, so this was like the low hanging fruit. Nice. This is nice for a choppy Friday, if I can say it like that. Yeah. So let's go to Monday now. So we're at 9. Alright, so let's go to the daily now and do the analysis. So daily, see our buy side there, and on the daily you can see we have this I think this fair value gap was on the 4 hour, and this candle started bullish, showing some bullish signs, which means we might actually push higher as a reaction from PD array that might be on the lower time frame. So the 4 hour, you can see it has a fair value gap which held. So this is a nice 4 hour fair value gap. This text should be bold, because why not? Bold, and italic, no, not italic. So we have this 4 fair value gap that's holding. It took out liquidity, very nice sweep, and remove any images here. So we have this sweep right here, and let's see how it's looking on the S&P. So the S&P is actually, it also has some kind of gap, does it? Well, let's see. So the S&P has a fair value gap as well. You can see it was respected, but it didn't put in this sweep. You can see like there's some kind of correlation error here. We have this SMT. Well, price is fractal, very fractal. So we also have another SMT here, very nice SMT. Now going into the 1 hour, you can see that we also have some other areas here of another fair value gap, 1 hour fair value gap. And in this 1 hour fair value gap, the reason I marked it out is because we have Asia lows lying here. So it can be possible that if you want to move higher, this might be our draw on liquidity, where we take out these lows and then continue to the upside. So it's possible that I want to change this pen to a lighter brush. Yeah, so it might be possible that we might drop, come high for a little bit, then take out these lows, push higher, greater change in state, embrace a fair value gap, drop here, and then push higher as time goes on. So that would be basically what we're looking for. So let's remove this. Oh god. Right, so now I'd like to go to the 15-minute. So the 15-minute, we're at 9. Let's see what is to happen, and how is the 15-minute looking on S&P. We have an inverse correlation here. We have another SMT that might be forcing price to move downwards and take out these visual lows. So let's just wait for the market to do its thing, then we'll look for an entry. So I'm currently basing on the 5-minute. I'll go to the 1 minute for some extra confirmation. So at open, you can see it drop nicely. We take out London lows right here, very nice sweep. So it didn't reach anywhere here, but these ones were taken out obviously, but this was taken out before even the open, so no biggie. Took out sell side, and now here did we take out sell side in the 5-minute. How is it looking like? So we dropped. We're still having a very big SMT, and so far we can see that we have the sweep and are we in some kind of POI? Let's see the 30-minute. So the 30, this is that we're in a 30-minute fair value gap here. That's holding price. So our drawn liquidity would be this high, or this one as well. This was a Friday high, yeah, so it's a previous day high, which means it might be a really good drawn liquidity. So previous day high, and now going back to the 5-minute, 5-minute, here you see that we have a nice shift in structure. And now we also have an inversion, which means we're pushing aggressively into a sweep. Let's wait for this fair value gap to be reclaimed. Right, nice retracement into this gap, and I'll obviously take this entry. It's also buy. My stop loss to be somewhere here, and I'd like to target these highs here. So let's take this entry, risking a half. So checklist, this was the 1 minute entry model, but it was this, yeah, we had the change in market, we had the fair value gap retest and the liquidity sweep. So let's see what happens here. We end up getting stopped out, not a bad entry. Keep in mind we're still bullish, and yeah, it's okay. We actually took this entry at 9:45, and this is what the macro did to us. So we had this high taken out, we inverse the fair value gap. Let's see what happens. So market start to consolidate for a bit. Right, and as we're in the consolidation, you can see that we get another sweep of lows. Take out this. Did we take them out? Very clean one. We take out these lows here. So you can see that these lows are taken out, but this price action here was really crazy. So after taking out those lows, it's a nice sweep. Now going on the 2 minute here, you can see that we have a small fair value gap. Let me remove this. So price has literally dropped into the 1 hour fair value gap. I think you can see that we're in this 1 hour fair value gap, and now on the 5 minute, where I'm waiting for this you can see we have like some kind of accumulation in here. We take out these lows. Now on the 2 minute, what I'd like to see is like this series of down close candles. We get a nice close above here to get a change in state, and this fair value gap to get run through this inversion fair value gap, resting on the 2 minutes. So how does it look on the 1 minute? 1 minute is actually more cleaner. You can see that we have this series of down close candles, and I'd expect my change in state to be right there. So let's see what happens. Right, 1 minute breaks nicely out of the inversion, and now we'd like to take our entry at the retest, and we retest the fair value gap a bit. So here I'm still in for buys. Stop loss will be right here, and going on the 5 minute, look for a draw on liquidity. We have this, we have this high right here. We still have this high here as well, giving us a 1-to-1. So I'd like to close my partials somewhere here. Meanwhile, I'd hold the runners to that external buy side liquidity. So let's take this entry. I'll be risking 0.30 since we lost the day, but let's take 0.5. So this checklist was the one we had the sweep, change in state, and the fair value gap run through. Right, so let's see how this goes in the 5 minute for the bigger view. Actually, let's play it and see. So we first drop a bit into the change in state. This right here, a nice change in state of delivery. You can see we're having an awesome push in the morning. We're almost into lunch, so price might actually dance around in the lunch hours. So you can see right there we hit our first pressure profit, and here I'd like to protect my position. So I think we can take off half or let it fully run. Let's see, should we let it fully run? So it dropped down a bit. Let me close pressures. There's no need of being greedy. Let's close some partials, and now let the rest run. So price is consolidating somewhere here. You can see that it's not looking good. And on the 15 minute, we're still like on this gap here. Let's hold it and see. So what time is it? It's in the afternoon session now. So you can see it's still consolidating, which means this entry might be not as strong because we wanted to actually take out this previous day high. So let's just close these profits instead of letting them linger around. Sorry, let's close it 100%. I don't know why I closed half full position. Right, now let's see what it does later on. After consolidating around the entry, it actually pushes to TP. Nice move. So we actually should have waited maybe for this consolidation to pan out, I don't know. Let's see. We were at 14, so not a bad trade, although we closed a bit early. So let's see how long this trade took. Spent this 3 hours and 30 minutes. So yeah, very good trade. Anyways, so let's go to the next day, and we'll be back after this short break. Right, we're back. Yeah, so just checking if the mic was on. Good. So obviously the same day we do the next thing, clean analysis with no BS. So let's go to the next day. Right, so now I would like to go on. By the way, hope this has raised our win rate by some, because it was looking really bad. Yeah, it's almost 30. Alright, so because we took some stupid trades in the start, obviously. Alright, so now on the daily time frame, ooh, what a nice move. You can see how price bounced nicely. You can see like how runners on this trade would look awesome. And let's see the time here. See all these afternoon runners, my god, fire. Anyways, let's remove these drawings. Now I'd like to go to the daily time frame. Alright, so what do we see in the day time frame? Coming into the day, we see like the day opened up a bit bullish, but if we want to push higher, obviously the day has to start with some kind of like accumulation and then drop low, which is this drop we see, and maybe like a push to the upside later on. So I think this is like what I think is going to happen, but let's see on what the market is telling us. So first off, we have this gap that might need to be rebalanced. Like we fill this gap, then we move on to the upside. Going to the 4-hour here, you can see that we have this huge gap on the 4-hour, and I don't think we've even reached its consequent encroachment from here to here. Well, did we? Yeah, looks like we actually reached the consequent encroachment. But yeah, this drop isn't like some big thing to like like I think it's like some kind of rebalance, maybe from this low to here, like, or from here to this low, like we drop, we reach OTE, and then we push. So there's nothing big that might make it very brutal. So if we react on this 4-hour fair value gap, well and good. If we don't, then we'll be continuing to the low time frames. After all, we have gaps over gaps over gaps, because you can see that also on the 1-hour we have a gap inside here. Let's just wait to see what price is doing. But while we're waiting, we can see that we have previous day highs here. I think this was from Monday. Yeah, we're on Tuesday, so we have this nice previous day high. This is a previous day high. I don't have previous day high template. Alright, the previous day high here, and we have this buy side liquidity as well, aligning really nicely with this previous day high. Nice buy side liquidity here, and all right, so buy side liquidity. Now going on the 4-hour, we also have this huge buy side all-time high. So these are our draws to the upside if we react to PSL. All right, so let's go now to the 15. Good. So we have London lows here, which were taken out, and we have these imbalances here. So let's see which ones we fail, which ones we disrespect, and see which ones hold. Let's go to 5-minute, and as the trades move on, we still have one thing in mind: wait for a clear sweep. SMT is optional. Wait for a clean change in state of delivery, and it might be better if we have a fair value gap run through on the lower time frame and then a retracement into the inversion, or just enter off of the change in state targeting opposing liquidity. Just as simple as that. Now going on to ES, let's see how ES is looking. So ES on the 15-minute is also looking like this. We're dropping, no crazy SMT or something else happening. So let's just wait until the open and see what actually happens. So let's be like this. So we get this drop at 9:15. You can see we have a series of down close candles. We have equal lows taken out here. a nice sweep. On the 30-minute, are we in some kind of POI? Are we still in the big fair value gap? And on the 1 minute, this is how it's looking like. And looking on the 2 minute, how's it looking like? So 2 minute also has the same thing. It has this manipulation move right here. So let's wait for the 5 minute. Creates a change in state, and you can see that we also have a fair value gap which was disrespected. We ran through it massively. We have this inversion which we don't expect a retracement to, but I would like to see a retracement into this change in state. Keep in mind that we've just opened, so we get a touch into this change in state, which means like here we can take an entry, but well, it's already moved a huge amount of points. It's already moved 4 handles, and now we get another retracement. Alright, so here we're at 950, and 950 is another macro, so here we can take a long position. So closing these lows and going to the 2 minute, you can see we had a nice change in state. Fair value gap is holding, so actually stop loss might be there. And targeting the opposite liquidity, we have these equal highs where we take our first partials. We also have here, so I'd like to mark these levels, these partials and runners reach there. So going back to the 5 minute, we're in the macro. I'll be risking half of the full percentage until we break even and we have a big buffer. So we're still in the 4 hour fair value gap. The 4 hour fair value gap is still holding. You can see this 4 hour fair value gap. We're still in this, going in the 4 hour, we're still inside here, in this big gap. And in the 2 hour, yeah, nothing different. It's still this big move from yesterday, which we took a percentage of it. I'm glad to say that. And now, let's see what the market does later on. So it sweeps us out at this news. We have news at 10, or news of these jolts drop openings, which end up dropping into the 1 hour fair value gap. Yeah, so it's normal, shit happens. Going the 5 minute, sorry. Let me write this, the 1 hour fair value gap, 1 inch fair value gap. So I still have my draw to the upside, even though I got stopped out. I actually hadn't seen that we had news, so I'll put that into consideration next time. So first off, we took out a crazy low here. Let me remove these drawings. So let's see what market does later on. So going on the 2 minute, we have this crazy drop. And the 1 minute is the same, basically the same thing. We might run over it or actually have a manipulation move to take out this low. So we have this crazy sweep, and I would like to see obviously how ES is looking with this. So in the 1 minute, so ES has an SMT here on this POI we had marked. So we have an SMT. You can see that we have a really nice SMT so far. Now let's see what happens. Right now, going back to ES, we created this low. In the 1 minute, ES also created this series of lows, but it didn't go below, you can see, like this low as we did. Right, we're at 10.21. Let's wait and see. So you can see we're consolidating. I'd like to see a sweep, clean sweep, some lows taken out. So we took out this low here with this series of down close candles. It's a nice sweep. Well, I have this inversion that is kind of holding price. Going on the 5 minute, you can see that we have very big wicks that are rejecting. And going back to the 1 minute, well, yes, also took out this liquidity. I have this series of down close candles, as in this manipulation move called tell us where price is about to move to. So from here to here, you can see that our two level aligns nicely with these levels of liquidity. So this would obviously be another target level of buy side. We have way too many lines. Let's remove some. Anyways, so I'll be waiting for this level to be crossed out. So you create a change in state right here. I think you can take a second entry, but it will be like some kind of one-to-one, because you can see like have a really huge stop loss. But instead of taking this, let's first look on the 2 minute how it's looking like. So I had the sweep, I had the shifts in structure. On the 1 minute, did we have an inversion? Good, we have this inversion, fair value gap ran through, showing us that price is currently respecting any PDRAs it creates. You can take this entry. Oh, okay, we'll risk like 0.3. Yeah, no partials, just straight to TP or SL or break even, you never know. So actually we can keep take profit open. Yeah, so we're into the inversion, and this ends up a stop out. Crazy move. So we have two losers today. Sweep, just change the state. Let's see if we take out this low. So we take out the low as well, and the 5 minute is looking kind of like it's respecting this gap here. So one take from this is that this inversion, this fair value gap from the news is actually something that might hold. So at least maybe let's see, you can wait for it to be disrespected. Let's take read price here, nothing else. We created another fair value gap, it gets respected. Well, you can see how okay, I was about to say that you can see how fast price is moving on the S&P 500, but before that you can see that we're creating some kind of higher high on S&P, showing us more signs that market might actually be ready to drop and respect this gap fully. So you can see that it ends up dropping in lunch. We have 13.05. How are the analytics looking so far? 26% win rate. That's crazy. We have this kind of messy graph, but no worries. What features do I miss? Alright, so I don't need this. Oops. Right. Into the analytics, let's see how much we've lost this month. We had the crazy month here. You can see how these months are looking really bad. But looking here, we have 1.79. So we're down 2% for the month. Yeah, for January. So let's see if we can find another small entry, and then we might be done for the day. So price continues to drop in the afternoon. Let's go on to 15 to see how it's looking like. So we have this crazy drop now. Looks like we're not gonna stop anytime soon. How's the 1 hour looking? So this sort of block my whole price, or might not. It's also possible. So all the buy side might have also shifted. Now going in the 4 hour, we have this gap created an inversion here with respect to this gap, showing that our next strong liquidity might be this lows. So let's just go into the next day and see how this takes on. But this signifies that we might be about to have some midweek reversal, because by the looks of it, you can see how this week started. Monday was really bullish, which means we had something like this. You can see how Sunday looked like from here. Sunday was consolidated a bit, then Monday pushed high, so we had something like this. Sorry, so you can see that we had something like this. Then Monday came in, pushed higher, and Tuesday is now where we are experiencing the reversal, and we have something like this. So maybe the week might be about to go bearish. And while we're on the daily, then the weekly might be about to turn around and come into this gap you can see here, which is very nice, fair value gap. And going on the daily, you can see that this gap is really crucial. So going on back to the weekly, you can mark the start of this fair value gap, because that will be an obvious target. Going on the daily, obviously it should be a daily low. Now going to the next day open. Ooh, we didn't even get any kind of entry, but price respected the dynamics of its movements. Obviously, you can see that we close, and exactly on the open we drop into that fair value gap from the regular time frame right here. Get this crazy drop into the fair value gap, and as we drop into the gap, I can notice that it's possible that we might feel it at least into the consequent encroachment. So you can see from here to here, like our consequent encroachment would be somewhere here. And yeah, let me mark it just for the purpose of having it marked, because we might reach it. So let me make it dotted. Weekly FEG consequent encroachment. Now going on the 4 hour, sorry, on the daily, now on the daily you can see that we will also have this fair value gap, so you might drop into this consequent encroachment and then push higher. Now I'm basically looking for a drop until we reach this consequent encroachment, and going on to the 4 hour here, I have a big gap here, so I might also retrace into it. Let's just see what price does and go along with it. So 15 minutes. For our drawn liquidity, we have these highs from Asia right here. These highs from Asia are taken out, and this high from London. So our long buy side liquidity here, I have London highs. Going to the 5. So we get the open somewhere here as we push a bit higher. And how does it look on the S&P? So price isn't aggressive, isn't that much aggressive. S&P does basically the same thing, although here below we have kind of a SMT. So from here to here, and from here to here, showing us signaling the price might push higher instead of respecting our daily fair value gap. Now going into the lower side here on the on ES, I'm seeing we have a nice sweep, but it's not as perfect as I wish it would be. So just let it be on the 1 minute. So at 10:10 we get this nice drop. So we don't have a clear like sweep, but we have our like the direction where the market wants to go. We took out some highs on the 2 minute, you can see here. Took out some highs, then we closed here below. Was this a rebalanced equilibrium from here to here? We didn't touch OTE, but we reached into equilibrium obviously. So the drop continues, but no entries provided so far. We know our target, but we aren't getting any entry, except if we wait for like some kind of retracement into a fair value gap. So here price is holding, trying not to drop. So we push higher at 11. So the 15 minute is actually in this gap, while the 30 minute is some kind of weak. I don't know, it's not weak, but on the 1 hour is it how we're getting this gap. So on the 15 we're in this fair value gap, 15 minute. So here we got, let's see if we run through it or if we respect it. So it looks like we run through it in the 15 minute, and what would be our target then? We've closed, we've removed the gap on the 1 hour. Let's see what happens in the PM session. So we push back at the open of the gap, and let's mark the lunch. So lunch started here and it ended here. This was the low of lunch, this was the high. I have this nice inversion, and are we in any POI here? Well on let's see how the 15 minute is looking here. So 15 minutes doesn't have anything other than this breaker like structure. How about the 30 minute? Nothing. 1 hour, well, fair value gap on the 1 hour. We're in the 1 hour fair value gap here. Going on the 15 minute, you can see that we're rejecting the gap, and now on the 1 minute I had this high taken out slightly. On the 2 minute, well, we can also mark this as a valid sweep as well. And looking on the 2 minute, you can see that we have a very nice inversion for a value gap here. Let me mark it like this below, and we have a nice change in state right here. Changing state of delivery. Now I'd like the market to go slow, maybe retrace into, you can see retrace back. Now here my sell entry will be ready, stop loss above there, and target is obviously the lows from New York lunch session. So Bears King 0.5. Save this and let's see what market does. So it pushes higher, tries to break above the change in state. touching the inversion. Let's see if it drops. Whoa, nice expansion candle. When does this happen? It happens at 14, and this was turns out we had some Fed news, and it respected the movement. So I think that was all for today. Peace out.